It doesn't matter what is true, only what you believe is true, because with work, it will become true. Write that down. Write that down. That's a bar. There's no way another person can be in the exact same position as you and they're making more than you. They're in better shape than you. They're doing better in life than you. It's all you, right? And there's other parts too, like making money. Like I said, I used to make $700 every 2 weeks. $700 every 2 weeks until I remember I was walking around, and then I saw a kid my age, and then I remember, I think I was like 22. I think I was 22, and I said, how much this guy make, right? And I went to this dealership, right? It was a dealership, and the boss was like, yeah, he's 19, he's making 100,000. I said, sir, what do you mean this kid's making $100,000 a year? Welcome back, everybody. We're back with another one. We're back with a great one, right? I'm hoping this will be a great one because I'm hoping to inspire somebody today to understand that life isn't that hard, right? If you understand that this is a game. You know, it sounds very crazy because you're probably like, what do you mean it's a game? I'm telling you, it's just a video game, right? It's all about leveling up your character to become the best version of yourself. That's all it is. Life isn't fair. And the sooner you can realize that life isn't fair, the sooner you can understand that you need to do the things that's going to get you closer to what you want. Right? As long as you're not breaking laws, right? As long as you're not becoming a criminal, you can do certain things, right? And I'm gonna get to the point of what you can do, what you can't do. Not really what you can't do, but I have my little handy dandy notebook here, so that way I can stay on task and stay focused. Because if not, I will speak and speak and speak and speak and speak and run my mouth for days on end. On end, I'm telling you, I will speak, and you were like, I don't know what that man said on this YouTube video, but I'm gonna get to the point. So. Right now, understand that you have been trained to be average, right? Where you are in life right now has been created for you. Then that went really dark real quick. But listen, you have been trained to be average. You have been trained to be a worker. You have been trained to be a average person, right? Everything's designed against you, so you don't ever blossom into who you can be. So you don't ever become the true potential of your life. I too was in that shoe. I too was in that position. I too was in the same reality that you were. Okay? There was one point I was making $700 every 2 weeks, and I was like, there cannot be people in this world making more than me, younger than me, and I'm making $700 every 2 weeks, slaving like a madman? Did you hear what I said? $700 every 2 weeks. And I know some people are in that position. Some people are making a little bit more. Some people are making a little bit, less, whatever, right? But the point of the story is that we all start from somewhere, right? I come from a third world country. I come from Haiti, right? Where we are the poorest country in the Caribbean, right? I wouldn't even argue the freaking whole entire this side of the world. I'm not really sure about the other side, right? But poor, no resources, nothing, poor. Yet we came to America, staying in like a one bedroom with like 10 people, sharing a bedroom, right? My father was only working at Domino's, so all we could eat was pizza that didn't get delivered, the pizza that was left over at the end of the night, and ramen noodles. That was my diet for a long time. My belief system had told myself that we are poor people, so we just have to remain poor, right? That people with money is evil or something, that they've done something bad to get that money. And these are all belief systems that hopefully I can help you rewire your identity and your belief systems. Understand your belief systems are created by experiences. Your belief systems are created by experiences that you have repeatedly seen, right? The reason we have these beliefs, right? The reason we believe that money is hard to get is because we have consistently seen people in our lives or ourselves not been able to get that money. So now we have created this belief system and to just wipe away all the experiences and be like, well, money's hard to get. Right? But I'm here to tell you that if you decide to become that person that can get that money, if you decide to be that person who can get in top shape, all it takes is creating new experiences, right? And that can help you get there, right? But understand you have been trained to be average, right? You have been trained to not be able to see the benefits of thinking positive, not see the benefits of thinking that anything is possible if you could believe in it, if you could really manifest it into your world. I know all this woo-woo manifestation and frequencies and vibrations and the cosmos and chakras and the stones and crystals. Yeah, this is not what all this is about. What we're going to talk about is there's a belief system there's a misalignment of where you are now and where you want to be. And if you're watching this video, that means you're searching for how to get out of it. You're searching for how to align yourself with that version of yourself that can get yourself to the goals that you want, that can get you that physique, that can get you that job, that can get you that finances, that can get you to live that life you want to live inside your head. I'm telling you, it's possible. It's possible. But are you willing to work? There's a quote I heard. I got some food in my mouth. There's a quote I heard. It says, it doesn't matter what is true, only what you believe is true. Because with work, it will become true. Right? So for the longest time, I said, I can get in shape. I want to get in shape. I want to, have the physique like I see in the Instagram, I see in the YouTube, and I see all over the social media, the internet. I said, but those people, they must be, using drugs. They must be like on steroids. They must be on X, Y, and Z, right? Because my belief system, the people I was around, they were all out of shape, right? So I've reinforced my belief system to be like, well, this is just what we do. Like, everyone around me is fat. No one around me is like in good shape. After high school, we just lost it, right? After high school, we just, hey, I guess. This is just life now. I have kids and I work a 9 to 5, sitting in my seat, right? All of that is literally your experience is validating what you already believe, right? Your belief system is your brain's a very powerful thing. Understand this. Your brain will support whatever you believe to be true. If you believe that getting in shape is difficult, your brain will find all the evidence that helps support your belief system to reinforce that belief system. It will find all the fat people like, oh, yeah, man, yeah. And then you'll go talk to these fat people and be like, oh, yeah. And I'm not saying fat people very, very loosely here, but I'm not really enforcing fat people. Yeah. You get my point. Anyways, so your brain will go and speak and find things that support your belief system, things that support your thoughts. Because what you think is what you become. If you believe as yourself as a person who can't get in shape, you will never get in shape because you don't believe you can get in shape. So for example, I used to think I can never get in shape. I can never pass a certain point. I'm like, I always get just a tiny bit in shape and then I regress. Then a tiny bit in shape and then I regress. Then a tiny bit in shape and then I regress. About damn, tiny shape. But anyways, so I used to think that, right? I used to think that I'm just stuck right there. Like I can never truly get a six pack. I can never truly hold on to it because I was like, I just it's not what we do, right? And there's other parts too, like making money. Like I said, I used to make $700 every 2 weeks. $700 every 2 weeks until I remember I was walking around, and then I saw a kid my age. And then I remember, I think I was 22. I think I was 22. And I said, how much this guy make, right? And I went to this dealership, right? It was a dealership. And the boss was like, yeah, he's 19. He's making 100,000. I said, sir, what do you mean this kid's making $100,000 a year? No, my bad, 120. I said, 120, and I'm over here struggling with $22,000 a year? Are you joking? I was like, there's no way there's another person my age or younger, or even older, I don't care. But there's no way another person could be in the exact same position as you and they're making more than you. They're in better shape than you. They're doing better in life than you. It's all you, right? What happens is we think about all the negative stuff in our life, right? All the things we don't have, all the lack of, right? We focus on the lack of finances. We focus on the lack of abundance. We say, oh, I drive a shitty car. Oh, I live in a shitty place. I have 5 roommates. Oh, my job sucks. Oh, I'm flipping burgers. Listen, I was a busboy. I was a server. I was a cashier, right? I've done these jobs, and I'm telling you that you can get out of it. And I know it's very hard to understand because I too was in your position. I took myself out of it. I got a sales job, made 6 figures. After I found out that guy made 6 figures, I said, what? You're telling me if I do what he does, I will get the same thing? He said, yeah. And guess what I did? I got to work. Because like I said before, it doesn't matter what is true. It doesn't matter what is true. Only what you believe is true. Because with work, it will become true. Write that down. Write that down. That's a bar. It doesn't matter what is true. Only what you believe is true. Because with work, it will become true. And the thing about this is that you guys don't believe that it can actually happen. And I understand because all your experiences, because beliefs are based off experiences, All your experience until now has told you, I don't think so. I mean, I've never seen it, you know? I never, you know, like maybe you've seen a fast car pass by, you know there's money in the world. Like, we're not blind, right? Social media, you can find everyone with all this money. I'm telling you, you can become that guy. You can become that person who can achieve these things, right? But the first thing you have to understand is that you cannot be focused on the lack of, because what you think about most is what you become, okay? That's another bar. What you think about most is what you become, right? If you think about having that trash car, having the trash apartment with 15 roommates, having the trashy job, having all this, if you keep thinking about all that stuff, you're only gonna get what you keep thinking about. Your mind's gonna find everything to support your belief system, and you are always correct. You know, there's a saying, you can and you can't are both true statements. I'm gonna let that sit in. That's another bar. You can and you can't are both true statements. And yes, I can. Yes, I can, and so can you, if you believe you can, right? So remember, I have my notes here, so that way I can stay on track. Because I'll talk, I'll chat, I'll chit chat, I'll sit down. I'll sit down. 'Cause I'm very passionate about this because I changed my life, and I know I can change other people's lives, right? You may not, you may not have the same goal as I do. Like I want to make $40,000 a month, period, and then 100,000, and then a million, right? So we have different goals, right? But if your goal is to make $10,000, or if your goal is to just be able to put food on the table for you and your loved ones, that's a beautiful goal, right? Be happy with those goals, not more is not always better, right? But some people have different goals, right? Have different motives and different whys, right? And I can help you figure out what is your why, what is your true why. Not I want to make money. Making money is such a byproduct of money is a byproduct of providing service to someone else, to helping people solve their problems. That's what money is, right? Right? So you focus on your weakness, right? You're ignoring your natural strengths. I used to go around all the time and this is not my natural strength, obviously, but there are people taller than me. And for the longest time when I was younger, obviously I had the thought process of I can't make money, right? But also the thought process of like I couldn't get women, I couldn't do this, like everything was difficult, I couldn't get a good job and all that stuff. But for example, I'm taking this is an easy one to understand, right? Women, for example. There are guys who's taller than me. We know this, right? Right? I'm 5'7". Yeah. I'm 5'7", but that doesn't stop me. But when I was that person, when I was that older version of myself, there would be people that's 6 feet tall. And I used to be like, damn, it's because he's 6 feet, man. Yeah, frick, man. It's because he has better, he can just talk better. He's more suave, he's more smooth, But until you understand that you're focused on weaknesses instead of your strength. So what is my strength, right? I have the ability to speak. I have the ability to persuade. I have the ability to articulate myself in a manner that is so cohesive, so precise that I can get my point across, my message across. And that's what I try to do every single day. I try to get better, right? Those are my strengths, right? I understand that I cannot get any taller, but I can get in really good shape, right? I can keep my hygiene good. I get the beard to connect, fade it a little bit, keep up my maintenance, get the teeth all white. I can do those things because I understand what's really going to help me, right? Focusing on the weakness what I don't have, or focus on my strengths, or focus on what I can change, right? Because the more you allow things that's out of your control to control your life, you have no control over your life, right? The more you say, oh, well, it's my job, it's my friends, it's my family, all I hear is that everything is not your fault. And I'm here to tell you something. I'm gonna get closer. It's your fault. It's your fault. The life you live is your fault. The life that you have right now is a direct representation of everything that you have done to this point. Don't believe me? Take audit yourself. And that's, how did I end up here? Oh man, I kept fucking around with that girl. Oh man, I kept fucking around with my friends. Oh man, I just stayed at this job even though I know I could have went on Indeed and started applying for other things. Right? But we never think that way. We always be like, bro, it's my friend. Bro, it's just like, it's everyone else, man. Bro, it's the government. You hear that stuff. It's the government. It's the system. It's the gas prices. Bro, right now the gas prices are extreme. I don't even look at it. What are you gonna do about it? My whole thought process, my whole belief is that I only pay attention to the things I can focus on. Anything else is out of my hands and God's hands, right? It's in God's hands. It's in God's hands, right? I have no doubt because I know that if I focus on whatever I need to focus on, everything else will align itself, right? It may take a little bit longer, right? But what I do have is control over me. And if I have control over me, I have control over my life, in which a lot of people are not focusing on the control over themselves. Control yourself and you'll control your life. I'll tell you this. Control yourself and you'll control your life. Now, like I said, you're focusing on your weaknesses, right? And you're ignoring your natural strengths. You're ignoring some people have the gift of gab. Some people have, what's that shit? Like, some people have really good sales abilities. Some people are great at makeup. Some people, you all have natural skills. You all have these natural things about you that you're just naturally good at. I don't know. You'll be like, I don't know, I'm just really good. I'm just really good. And you're probably gonna be like, oh, I don't really have nothing I'm good at. Well, it's time for you to dig deep. Find out what you do so effortlessly, right? Some people are really good at games, and look, they became millionaires playing games, Now, I'm not saying go into games because that's a very, very tough market to get into and stuff like that. So I would advise away from that nonsense, okay? But there's things you're naturally good at, right? There's things that you're naturally like, oh, I'm a really good driver. I'm not a good driver either. There's natural stuff, okay? There's like gift of gab. There's abilities to like, you're really good at AI. I don't know if that's natural. But you know what I'm saying? There's things that you can find that's natural. Unfortunately, I don't know who you are. If I was speaking to a person, then I know who I'm talking to, and I can tell you what you're naturally good at, right? Right. So if you can listen, you can put in the comments or whatever you think you're good at. I'm not gonna just look at you basically and kind of tell you. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Okay, don't ask me how I know and what I know. I don't know. I study people, right? I study human behavior. I study identity. I study behavior, cognitive, like. I study the cognitive function of the brain. I understand why people do certain things. I understand the psychology behind certain things, and that's why the more you understand. Right? If I can show you guys how to understand more things, you're more likely to start behaving in a manner that is congruent to where you want to go. Right? It's all really understanding, because if I tell you to do something but I don't explain to you why, the why is the very important part of this. The why. So if I can tell you all that, that's really how you're gonna be able to stick to whatever I say. Right? But first I have to make sure I change the way you think, and then you behave accordingly to get the life you want, because life is unfair. And if I can tell you how to focus on your strengths and stop worrying about your weaknesses. Stop focusing on the weaknesses that you have. Focus on the strengths that you have. Start to use those strengths for your good. And look, there are some people online that all they do is post their body and they make money. You probably have physique, right? You probably know certain things that most people don't know. There's things that people come to you for. What are they? Do a self-audit. Do a self-audit and understand, what are you good at? What are you naturally good at? What are things people come to you for? You know what people come to me for? They come to ask me, they say, Theory. They say, Theory, how do I look so sexy like you? I say, shit, let me see your diet, right? Let me see your workout routine. And most time people don't have a diet. Most time people don't have a workout routine. So I can help them get to where they want to go, because I can help create them a structure, a plan, right? They're also gonna be like, how do I change the way I think about this thing? How do I rewire my brain so it allows me to be a person who's consistent? Right? A person who can continue with their discipline, a person who has a strong habits. How do I get myself to do these certain things? This is what I'm good at, right? I help with the identity, I help with discipline, I help with the fitness aspect of all of it, right? So, like I said, life isn't fair, right? Life isn't fair. And winners use their advantages in life. If you're gonna go around saying, well, I don't want to use my body, or I don't want to use my ability to talk to people, or I don't want to use certain things that you're naturally good at and you're inclined to do more of it. Did you understand that? If you start doing something you're really good at it, you're inclined to keep repeating the same process, right? Because you're really good at it. It's easy to talk about stuff that you're already good at. It's easy to keep doing things that you're good at, right? I know. It sounds so simple, yet you don't do it. It sounds so simple, yet you don't implement it. It's because, like I said, we're trained to be average. We're trained to be normal. We're trained to be a regular person, right? So, like I said, winners take advantages and losers try to earn it eventually. Understand. There are people that's... the system is rigged to go against you. The system does not want you to be independent. The system does not want you to be la, do whatever you want. You don't have to show up. You can live a life you ever want. No, they need workers, right? You gotta choose, right? And I'm not saying you have to be someone who's free. I'm not saying you have to be someone who travels the world and just, live a digital nomad lifestyle and you just have no care in the world. But I'm telling you, You can choose the life you want. You're not stuck at McDonald's. You're not stuck in a corporate job. You're not stuck on a sales team. You're not stuck in whatever job. You're not stuck in whatever city. You're not stuck in whatever life that you're in right now. You can change it. Because life is unfair, and if you gotta start utilizing your strength. I'm telling you, utilize your strength. For the longest time, did you know I started doing this stuff back in October. Okay? I started doing this stuff back in October, and in October, I couldn't even speak to this camera. Right? I was like, well, I mean, they probably want me I'm thinking like social media and think about judgment. I'm telling you, don't give a fuck. If you really want the true answer, stop giving a fuck. That's the equation of life. Stop giving a fuck. Because when I first started, I used to be like, oh, maybe they want me to be like behind the desk, my hair nice and good, hairline good, and I speak like this. Hello guys, today I'm gonna be talking to you about discipline and talking to you about the fundamentals for fitness and how to achieve a six-pack in 90 days. That's what I thought. But be you. You are your secret weapon. You are the only thing that's stopping you from achieving the life you want. Understand that. And the sooner you can understand that, being you, being your unique version, being the one that can get it done is what's really gonna change your life, right? So how do we fix that? We find what's natural. We double down on it. We find what's natural. We find what's natural to us. We find our strengths. We find everything that's gonna propel us into the life we want, and we double down on it, right? We continue doing those actions, because what happens is sometimes people get a little success, they stop and they go and they try to find a different thing, right? But if you can take that little success that you have and just keep repeating it, and double down on what's working already, your life will get better, right? You have to keep, like I'm saying, like, life is a video game. You gotta level up your character. You gotta level up that skill button. You gotta level up all those skills that you have, right? Okay, you have to look at yourself. You say, do a full audit right now. You say, what am I? Who am I? What have I done so far to get me here? What am I lacking? Okay, so you have to understand your weaknesses, because weaknesses are very important. But also, what is my strengths? Right? Find out what those two things are, and then you take another piece of paper and you say, the person I want to become, the version I want to become, what are their strengths? Right? What are their weaknesses? Hopefully the whole point is to reduce the weaknesses as much as possible. But what are their strengths? Okay, cool. Well, that guy, he can speak Spanish. I guess we gotta learn Spanish. Well, that guy, he's good at sales. I guess we gotta learn sales. Right? But the thing is, most people don't want to learn, right? But also, that guy could be you, right? And you have your strengths right now, and that guy's really good at the strength you have right now. It's okay, so can increase that learning for that strength. Increase the understanding of that strength. Learn to be better at what you do. Learn to get better. You do not know everything, neither do I. But the thing is, I continue to learn regardless of how much I think I know. I'm always a student. Just copy my homework. Just copy my homework. I'm telling you, I have been in your shoes. Just copy my homework. Just copy it, right? Just copy it, right? So right now you're misaligned, right? You're not that guy yet. You're not that girl yet. You're not that person yet. So you don't know. And because you're so misaligned, you don't have that self-trust in yourself to understand that you can get your life in order. You can change your life, and it's you who's in control. We've all been led to believe that, society is whatever. It's our job. It's our family. It's the world we live in. They're in control. No, you are in control. It's all risky. I'll tell you how risky it is. And we've probably heard this before. You won't make it out alive. You won't. So go for it. Go for that version of yourself that can get those things done. Go for that reality that you want to live in. Go for that version that can create the reality, live in that reality, and become that reality. You can do it. You can do it. I'm telling you, you can do it. Right? Now, you already know the gist of what we're talking about, right? Life is unfair. You have to use your strengths. You have to use what is God given to you. You have to use what you have in your capabilities. Do not focus on all the negatives, all the thoughts and all the life things that have told you that, oh no, you can't do this, you can't do that. I'm telling you, don't focus on that, right? If you're in debt, don't focus on that, right? Because what you think about most is what you become, right? So you know what to do. It's a matter of implementation. It's a matter of guidance and acceptance of how to get there, right? I for the longest time, I used to be like, well, I can get there on my own. I'm telling you, it's much easier to learn from somebody who's already done it. I'm telling you, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, all of them have coaches. Yet for some reason, we feel so entitled and so arrogant and so ignorant to the fact that if they are the greatest players of all time in basketball and they have coaches, why wouldn't you have a coach? Why wouldn't you be learning, continuously learning, trying to get yourself better? Right? That's a question you need to ask yourself every single day. Like, what would the best version of myself do? Right? Would they have a coach? Would they have somebody that can lead them to that path? And I'm not saying you need a coach, right? You can get there on your own. It just might be a little bit longer, right? It might not be the timeline you want, because guess what? Life be lifing. Life be lifing. And next thing you know, you watch this video and you're gonna go right back to the life that you live right now and be like, well, that was okay. I mean, yeah, I think I got some stuff you said. But you know, like I said, I mean, I have like to go to work tomorrow and stuff, so like I'll do work first. I'll tell you, you need to put yourself first. But I don't want to keep you guys on for so long, but just understand that I will be starting to drop some videos on some whiteboard videos, some Loom Miro videos on certain aspects, right? Some of my daily ones, some of it talking like this, some of it just doing the little Loom videos and just talk. And then, but if you guys have any questions, comment, concerns, please leave it down here below in the comment section, and I will get to them as soon as possible. And if you like this video and you made this far, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe. Like always, ciao.